It has been nearly 1,000 days since Russia invaded Ukraine, kicking off a war that has seen countless military and civilian deaths. This week, we learned North Korea sent troops to Russia to train for potentially joining their efforts in that war. Just weeks after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky journeyed to the U.S. to request additional support. But it's the human lives caught in the middle coming more into focus as Vladimir Putin makes it very clear he will not accept any concessions to end the war. Our Ian Pannell reports from Ukraine.
Over 2.5 years of war, hundreds of thousands of casualties, soldiers and civilians. And even now, the Russian army is still advancing, closing in on its next target, Pokrovsk, a strategic hub in the Donbass in the east of the country, once far from the front lines and home to 60,000 Ukrainians. But now the whirlwind of war has come to Pokrovsk, and those caught in its path are racing to get out while they still can. Families like Anne, a 12-year-old son, Vladislav, and 17-year-old daughter, Valeria. They tell us it's too dangerous and they're too afraid to stay any longer. It's a thought no child should have to ponder, a reality no family should endure.
I just wonder, do you feel anger or sadness or maybe both?
Thousands have passed through to this shelter. Here, families are fed with kindness and some warm stew. Many are old and frail. They've filled this old theatre with cots. It passes for home while they wait in limbo. Loneliness stalks this land, and many are alone. Like Oleg, a bus driver from Pokrovsk.
Hi, Oleg. How are you doing?
Як справи?
Добре?
Живый.
Yeah.
Потому что когда был удар ракеты в 100 метрах от моего дома, короче, там, ну, остались только стены целые. А я был внутри, спал. И это я даже не знаю, в какой рубашке надо было родиться, чтобы сидеть не поломанным, не побитым и живым.
With no means to pay for housing, Oleg, like so many here, is forced to head west.
За россиян я скажу. Я их всех ненавижу. Казалось бы, да, ненавидеть надо только кремлевских утех. Вы поняли, кого? Нет, ненавижу всех. Потому что за рычагами танков сидит не Путин и не Шойгу. Сидят простые россияне. Поэтому у них вина коллективная.
Oleg is now one of more than 3.5 million people displaced inside Ukraine. More than 6 million more remain abroad. But for many, there's no escaping this war. Civilians from once peaceful places like Pokrovsk and soldiers from the front arrive here every day.
Ситуація вкрай важка. Ворог масивно атакує бомбами, ракетами і, на жаль, поранених з кожним днем стає більше і більше.
Dr. Sergei Ryzhenko is the chief doctor here.
How are you coping? I think I saw you over a year ago. If you don't mind me saying, you look tired.
І всі вже просто втомилися від цього потоку поранених героїв і пораненого цивільного населення, якому треба допомагати. Все є, але вже сил не вистачає, щоб все це зробити вчасно.
Since the war began, the 2,500 staff members here have worked around the clock, day in, day out, to save lives. Some days they perform 100 trauma surgeries, and more than 19 tons of blood have been used for transfusion.
Only soldiers.
Only soldiers, yeah.
Artillery, missiles, very, very, very serious, very serious.
What the doctor's saying is that it's all soldiers here, but one's been wounded by rockets, one by missiles, other wounded by artillery. He said every single bed in this hospital is now full. Shrapnel wounds.
Shrapnel, yes. Молодець, брат. Все буде добре. Все буде добре. Ми всі хочемо, щоб ти повернувся додому скоріше. Молодець.
So he's lost the lower part of his leg,
Yes, yes.
below the knee.
Sergei can remember the moment his life changed forever. A Russian drone dropped 3 bombs on his position on the Eastern Front.
Він ще й повоюємо.
The bodies here are broken, but incredibly, the spirit is strong.
Sergei, can I ask you, you just said that when you recover, and you'll have a prosthetic leg, that you want to go back and fight. Why?
А у нас нема другого виходу. Ми захищаємо свою батьківщину. Це наша рідна земля. Ворог прийшов на нашу землю. Ми її захищаємо.
A haunting plot of land outside the city of Dnipro is the final resting place for fallen soldiers. The unimaginable cost of Russia's invasion is visibly mounting. The losses and the suffering in this war are absolutely staggering. It's over a year since I was last in this military graveyard, and it's just grown exponentially. People are exhausted by all the fighting and all the dying. And the CIA just came out with a report saying that Ukraine now has the lowest birth rate and the highest death rate of anywhere in the world. Sunday evening, supper time, in the Saltivka neighborhood outside Kharkiv. The Borovsky family were getting ready for dinner in their apartment when a Russian bomb hit.
И произошел бум большой. Ну и потом град из стекол, всех посыпало, всех порезало. Ну, старший кое-как с комнаты вышел, младшая сидела на диване, держала вот так вот ушки. Ну, подхватил младшую и в коридор. Жена с кухни, ее привалила там дверями, рамами, оконными там. Хорошо, ну, доползла тоже до коридора.
In the immediate aftermath, they scrambled to find each other and were taken by ambulance to Kharkiv Regional Children's Hospital. The bomb left them with wounds that will heal in time, but the psychological scars cut much deeper.
How do you cope living in this situation?
Это никак нельзя выдержать, потому что это постоянный стресс, это постоянные нервы. Даже бывает, если просто день спокойный и просто будет тревога, но ты не слышишь взрывов, у тебя уже психика нарушена.
Все, что было, в один момент раз, и ничего не стало. Как-то так. Секунда дела, моргнул, бам, все.
But right now, bomb, bomb, bomb. When the people
And few
walk in,
feel or fear
and,
their time may be
also
running
when
out
the
more
last-
than the first responders, also on the front lines of this war.
I hope for the
You feel you could die at any
Yeah,
moment.
you can die any moment. If you're lucky, you're lucky. If you're not lucky, you're not lucky. So.
Roman is a fire chief in Kharkiv. We first met him 2 years ago.
Let's go one floor more.
Larger than life and full of fighting spirit then, today he too is a changed man.
How are you, honestly?
Honestly, so.
Why?
Tired, exhausted. This war, it's hard for everybody. I'm pretty sure that our warriors much more exhausted than me, but also work, like living without family, a lot of calls, a lot of paperwork, a lot of everything, and also not having understanding what's next, what will be later, what kind of plans I need to have for the future, for my family, for myself. That's why hard, but we are strong and trying to do all the best.
It's that strength that keeps this country going.
Oh wow, there's glass all over the floor, so be careful.
The same resilience that brings Ivan back to his home.
Смотри, шум, кровь, пыль, истерика.
Yeah.
Я не знаю, что больше сказать, у меня сейчас чуть-чуть воспоминания немножко.
Are you okay?
Окей.
Not really.
Hello! In Ukraine, this is what surviving looks like. On the surface, the little laughs from Ukraine's next generation seem to tell a different story. But there's nothing normal about childhood here. Innocence is a thing of the past, when children must go to school underground just to protect them from the bombs. The kids wear masks of happiness that cover the reality of how hard life truly is for them.
Who likes maths?
Діти, хто любить математику?
Yes.
And do the kids talk? Do they raise this in conversation? Do they talk about the war?
They do. Of course they do.
In what way do they talk about it?
The kids always talk when something happened, like the day before.
Like yesterday there was
Yes, like for
an
example, there was a big attack, or maybe someone who they know got hurt, God forbid. They always ask each other. It's a bit funny and also extremely sad when I hear, did you hear this? Oh, I heard like 6 explosions last night, or I heard a shaheed during the night.
Right, a drone. Yeah.
And it's, kids are comparing how many shaheeds each one of them heard during the night. I never thought I would experience something like this in my lifetime, but here I am.
Yeah.
So many lives here have been forever altered by this war. Vladislav and Valeria join their mum and many others as they head to the west, where they'll be in relative safety, never knowing when they'll be allowed back home. It's incredible that over 2.5 years since Russia started this phase of the war, that people are still dying and fleeing, increasingly out of sight and out of mind. As a difficult winter nears, mourners grieve yet one more fallen soldier, 32-year-old Anton Samborsky. The son of Ukraine's chief rabbi leaves behind his wife and a newborn daughter. It seems only the dead get to rest in peace in Ukraine.
That is a grim, horrifying reality. Ian, thank you.